Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Hold on, let me just switch to my $250 4K camera. The webcam startup Opal Camera recently raised their Series A after 2 years of being founded, and they raised $17 million at that round, and they raised a total of $20 million. I spoke about them earlier when I was discussing Marcus Brownlee and Casey Neistat's portfolios. Let's explore what we know so far about Opal Camera. Webcams weren't really something you got excited about. People were either using their built-in laptop webcam, or they would get the Logitech C920, which is like a really easy buy on Amazon, or the Razer Kaio, and it wasn't really something you talk about. So Opal got founded in September of 2020 by Viraj Chugh, Stefan Solstrom, and Kenny Sweet. Viraj and Stefan were working at Uber before they founded Opal, and Kenny worked as a product designer on products like Beats headphones or speakers. With COVID hitting and work from home becoming more of a normal thing, the whole conversation around work from home became louder. That's when the founders realized that webcams sucked compared to their phone cameras. In this Forbes article where they interviewed the founders, they say, "Why is it that I walk around with a DSLR in my pocket, but that thing that I'm actually using for 7 hours a day doesn't look so good?" So they looked at how modern cameras were working, which is a combination of the hardware, the lens, the phone and stuff, with a combination of software. And they used that knowledge to take a stab at a webcam. So in January of 2021, they began working on the hardware, and in March, they began working on the software. So just to disclose, since launch, the Opal camera has only been compatible with macOS. We'll get to that in a bit. While they were developing internally and launching to beta testers, one of the investors, Alexis Ohanian from the 776 Fund, and also a Reddit co-founder, he tweeted about the webcam. "We quietly backed a team from Apple beats Uber, reviving a forgotten corner of consumer tech. The beta arrived today and the quality is mind-blowing. Webcams, welcome to 2021. And people under the tweet seemed to really love what they were seeing. Where's the hookup? Eagerly waiting my reservation turning into an invite. Product I really want. You need my address for beta testers? And the response was great in the comments on Twitter, but there was another conversation that was happening on Hacker News about the specs of the Opal camera. This is very dishonest in the video comparison section. The Opal camera video is using a software background blur filter, just like the one in Zoom or Hangouts, to make it look like it has a DSLR style lens with shallow depth of field. But in reality, it has a tiny crappy lens, just like every other terrible webcam. I like the niche that's being targeted here, and I did sign up. $300 is affordable. However, after giving my email, I scroll down to the comparison between iPhone, this and Sony, and I'm a bit let down. Plug and play right on your Mac, so Windows users shit out of luck. It's a USB webcam, no? To me, this is really interesting because this feedback is already highlighting people that are already repulsed by the product offering. So there's like the audience that likes to use their DSLR webcam to have like a really high resolution video for their Twitch stream or their regular video call, who just are repulsed by the idea because the hardware doesn't match their expectations. There's also the Windows people that are disappointed, as well as people who don't really understand that this is more of a hardware working with software combination. So we'll get back in a bit to who Opal Camera might have been targeting so far. But to get back to their website, Opal stuck to its mission, and their mission was to make a great webcam. The website currently says, the objects you use most often should be the best things you own. And their waitlist did amass 60,000 people, despite the hate on Hacker News. And since launch, their webcam price went from $300 to $250, even though it's the same Opal C1 camera. And they also offer the Opal Composer, which works with the Opal camera. According to the website, it says it allows for professional grading controls that lets you adjust your image quality to the finest detail. I think the Composer used to be $4 per month upon launch, but I don't know if that was repulsing people from getting the camera. I remember when I wanted to buy it in 2021, that was a turn-off point for me. While I was scrolling on Instagram also, I saw that they have been working on another product, which is a webcam for laptop users. They're teasing it by saying something small is coming, so I don't really know yet. But besides that, Opal is still dealing with a few quirks. For example, on the Opal Composer, the bokeh setting is only available for M1 Macs. So on top of not being compatible with anything but macOS, you also need an M1 Mac for the bokeh effect, which is a pretty big deal in my opinion. And customers also still think it's kind of a bare bone offering, and it being not compatible with Windows machine is just like segmenting itself in like such a specific user.
I just wanted to give a quick update that Opal had released a fact sheet that stated that they would be releasing for Windows user in 2024, and that's great. However, they did release another fact sheet in 2021 where they claimed that they would be releasing for Windows users in 2022. Gotta take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, back to the video.
Definitely there's a lot of things to address, considering Opal is still a young company that recently raised its Series A after 2 years of operation. So let's see what their Series A says. With this latest round of funding, Opal is broadening its vision to include new cameras, as well as branching into other aspects of consumer electronics, a category that has seen little progress over the past decade. It seems that they want to expand beyond webcams into high quality, highly specifically purposed products with this specific pitch. And in that whole announcement, there's no real addressing of expanding to Windows user or fixing their previous bugs or previous complaints. But they did announce that they hired a new head of product, David Kalinowski. So I don't really know if saying that, hey, we are kind of working on our backlog issues and addressing a lot of the complaints and a lot of bugs that our current product has, and at the same time focusing on the future, is something that is sexy and exciting to be mentioning in a Series A announcement. However, the new head of product, I think, would be the person to be deciding what they want to do in terms of taking a direction, whether they want to actually fix the products in the backlog or focusing on the future instead. And when it comes to who Opal Camera is targeting, I don't think it's targeting the person who's just jumping on a Zoom call and answering a question or like meeting with a manager and being done with it.
Nope. No updates for me.
Because for that, you might only need your built-in laptop web camera. It also doesn't seem like it's targeting people that like to use a really high quality rig DSLR setup like a Twitch streamer, for example. So the niche group of people that Opal might be targeting is the specific group of people that have, first of all, $250 to spare, that really care about their home setup, that probably make video calls beyond just work. It might be making video calls to your relatives, or you might be making video calls to clients, and your presence on camera during the video call might really matter. So for that specific group of people, maybe Opal Camera is the best $250 solution. So whether the head of product decides to focus on that group of people, or they want to adjust their pricing to go into a larger group of people, or they want to expand it beyond just Mac OS to go towards like Windows users, for example. There's a lot of things to address at this current turning point after the Series A. I think that Opal is also still in its infancy, so people are bound to be complaining, and Opal as a really young startup's job is probably to really look at this and understand which ones are really relevant to them. I personally really want an Opal camera, but I just want to make sure that when I get it, it's stable, it's working correctly, and when I plug it to my work laptop, it goes through perfectly without needing any sort of crazy permission from the IT team. And there's a lot to think about before spending $250 on this webcam for me personally. Let me know what you think about Opal, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.